What if the accusations against the Knights Templar were more than just religious heresy? What if the whispers of forbidden rituals hid a much darker secret, one that powerful figures wanted desperately concealed? A deity so horrifying it led to the downfall of the Knights Templar, Baphomet represents far more than the traditional image of a demon. It is a symbol steeped in forbidden history. Understanding Baphomet means questioning everything we know about one of the most influential and secretive groups in history, forcing us to look beyond the accusations of evil and toward the true reasons for their destruction. The Knights Templar were far more than just holy warriors. They were also pioneers of international banking, accumulating vast wealth and influence that extended across kingdoms and papal states. Their financial power made them indispensable to monarchs, but it also made them a target. The abrupt and brutal dismantling of the Templar Order, accompanied by shocking accusations of heresy and devil worship, remains one of history's most intriguing mysteries. The only references to Baphomet surfaced during the Templar trials themselves, with descriptions so vague and contradictory that they only deepen the enigma. This absence of concrete detail surrounding Baphomet has fueled nearly 1,000 years of speculation, transforming a shadowy accusation into one of the most potent and feared symbols in the world. In this video, we will journey beyond the traditional narrative, exploring the hidden political motivations and power struggles that may have orchestrated the Knights Templar's demise. We will trace Baphomet's evolution from a symbol of alleged Templar heresy to a multifaceted icon of esoteric knowledge, adopted and reinterpreted by various occult traditions throughout history. Today, Baphomet stands as one of the most widely recognized occult symbols, its influence permeating modern society. But what does Baphomet truly signify? Is Baphomet merely a demonic god, as depicted in popular imagination, or does it represent something far deeper and more complex? The key is to separate the symbol from the story, dissecting the historical accusations and unearthing the hidden power inherent within the Baphomet image. Our goal is to uncover Baphomet's obscure origins, decipher its intricate symbolism, and meticulously explore its profound transformation across the annals of history. You may have encountered Baphomet in popular media, or perhaps even in esoteric circles. Some might dismiss this as mere conspiracy or conjecture. We will delve into the historical evidence and scholarly research to determine together what Baphomet truly is. At its core, the story of Baphomet is a story of power, religious persecution, and the enduring human quest for hidden knowledge. So, let's begin. To truly understand the enigma of Baphomet, we must first delve into the downfall of the Knights Templar, for it is within their demise that the seeds of this symbol's enduring power were sown. The true story of Baphomet is not merely a tale of religious heresy, but a complex interplay of political agendas, suppressed knowledge, and heretical paranoia, meticulously woven together to dismantle a powerful and influential order. In medieval Europe, the Knights Templar rose to become a formidable force, their power extending far beyond the battlefield. They were warriors, yes, renowned for their bravery and skill in the Crusades, but they were also shrewd bankers and diplomats, amassing immense wealth and political influence that rivaled even that of kings. This accumulation of power, however, made them a target. King Philip IV of France, deeply in debt and desperate to consolidate his own authority, saw the Templars as a convenient scapegoat and a source of vast, untapped riches. The political tensions between King Philip IV and the papacy, with the king seeking to exert greater control over the church, further set the stage for the Templars' eventual persecution. Their direct allegiance to the Pope and exemption from local laws bred resentment amongst secular rulers, making them vulnerable to accusations and conspiracies. The Templars' wealth and autonomy were a direct threat to the French monarchy. The accusations of heresy and idol worship levied against the Knights Templar were wide-ranging and often contradictory, a testament to the manufactured nature of the charges. While the Templars were accused of many things, the most infamous charge was the worship of an idol known as Baphomet. But what exactly was this Baphomet they were accused of worshipping? The descriptions were vague and inconsistent, highlighting the lack of a clear definition and suggesting that the inquisitors themselves were unsure of what they were accusing the Templars of. Some described Baphomet as a head, others as an idol, and still others as a cat. Some said it was a demonic entity, others a representation of forbidden knowledge. The Baphomet of the Templar trials was not the same as the later occult symbol, the androgynous goat-headed figure we recognize today. At this point in history, Baphomet was nothing more than a scary name, an ill-defined accusation used to justify the Templars' persecution, not the complex image that would be created later. During the Templar trials, testimonies mentioning Baphomet were often elicited under duress, casting serious doubt on their reliability and accuracy. Templars were systematically tortured until they confessed to whatever their interrogators wanted to hear, their bodies broken and their minds shattered. One Templar testified that they worshipped a cat, while another claimed they worshipped a head. Still others spoke of rituals involving the kissing of a bearded man or the denial of Christ. The descriptions of Baphomet varied wildly between different Templars, with no consistent account emerging from the trials. But perhaps the most damning piece of evidence is what was not presented during the trials: any physical evidence to substantiate the claims of Baphomet worship. No Baphomet idols were ever produced, no sacred objects, no temples, nothing to support the accusations beyond the coarse testimonies of tortured men. The accusations against the Knights Templar were, in essence, a carefully orchestrated political maneuver designed to achieve specific objectives. King Philip IV sought to seize their vast wealth, cancel his crushing debts, and consolidate his power by eliminating a powerful rival who answered to no king but the Pope. The accusations of heresy and Baphomet worship served as a convenient pretext for seizing the Templars' assets and eliminating a powerful rival. The accusations were a means to an end, a way to justify the king's actions in the eyes of the public and the Church. Pope Clement V, who was under immense pressure from King Philip IV, played a crucial role in suppressing the Templar order, effectively becoming a puppet of the French king and sacrificing the Templars to appease his powerful benefactor. Baphomet, in this context, served as a convenient scapegoat, a symbol of heresy that justified the Templars' persecution in the public eye, a way to rile up the populace and gain support for the king's ruthless actions. However, this is not the whole story, for the origins of the Baphomet symbol lie elsewhere, far removed from the torture chambers and political intrigues of medieval France. What began as a tool of oppression and political manipulation would, centuries later, become a potent symbol in occultism and alternative spirituality. As we move forward, we will see how this obscure accusation transformed into an icon of rebellion and esoteric knowledge. But where did this image come from? How did Baphomet evolve from a vague accusation into the complex, multifaceted symbol we know today? The story is about to take an unexpected turn. However, it is important to acknowledge that the image of the Templars as purely innocent victims is a simplification of a far more complex history. While the accusations of Baphomet worship were likely exaggerated and politically motivated, some Templars may have adopted unorthodox beliefs or rituals that deviated from Orthodox Christianity. The Gnostic ideas, with their emphasis on secret knowledge and alternative interpretations of Scripture, were very widespread at the time and may have influenced some members of the Templar order. Even if some Templars were guilty of heresy, it does not necessarily validate the specific accusations related to Baphomet. Heresy is not the same thing as Baphomet worship, and the evidence for the latter remains flimsy at best. Despite these counterarguments, the evidence overwhelmingly suggests that the accusations against the Templars were primarily politically motivated, regardless of their actual beliefs or practices. The evidence, from the inconsistencies in the testimonies to the lack of physical proof and the political climate at the time, points to a clear political agenda on the part of King Philip IV and his allies. Baphomet's story serves as a prime example of how symbols can be created, manipulated, and reinterpreted throughout history, often with devastating consequences. Baphomet's enduring legacy is a potent reminder of the dangers of religious persecution, the suppression of knowledge, and the power of symbols to be weaponized for political gain, a stark warning of the dangers of unchecked power. But as we'll see, the story does not end here, for the image of Baphomet would be resurrected and transformed, taking on new meanings and associations that continue to resonate today. Now, having debunked the Templar origin, it's time to uncover where the Baphomet symbol truly comes from. The modern image is far more than a scary story concocted to condemn the Templars. It's a complex reflection of secret philosophies, synthesized over centuries. What began as a tool of oppression would evolve into something far more potent and enigmatic. To truly understand Baphomet, we must journey back before the Knights Templar, before the rise of Christianity, and into the whispers of the ancient world. The modern image of Baphomet did not emerge from a vacuum. Its roots lie in pre-Christian symbols and concepts associated with fertility, nature, and the delicate balance of opposing forces. Consider, for example, the ancient pagan deities, often depicted as androgynous or embodying both male and female characteristics, symbols of wholeness and cosmic unity. Gnostic concepts of divine androgyny and the union of opposing forces also played a crucial role. These ancient symbols, revered by various cultures, were not demonic figures, but rather representations of the interconnectedness of all things, the harmony between seemingly contradictory elements of the universe. These ideas evolved alongside human civilization itself, each culture adapting and reinterpreting these symbols to reflect their own unique worldview and spiritual understanding. This gradual development of these symbols provides the conceptual foundation upon which the modern Baphomet image would later be constructed, far removed from the accusations leveled against the Templars. This brings us to Eliphaz Levi, the key figure in creating the modern Baphomet image in the 19th century. While the name Baphomet existed before, it was Levi who synthesized different occult traditions into a single, powerful image that continues to resonate today. Levi, a French occultist and ceremonial magician, sought to create a visual representation of the balance and harmony he saw at the heart of the universe, drawing inspiration from various esoteric traditions. The result was a striking and unforgettable image, one that would become synonymous with the name Baphomet. But what were the specific elements of Levi's Baphomet, and what symbolic meanings did they hold? The goat head, perhaps the most recognizable feature, represents animalistic instincts and primal forces, the raw, untamed energy that resides within us all. The pentagram on the forehead signifies the triumph of spirit over matter, the ability of consciousness to master the physical world. The caduceus, a symbol of intertwined snakes, represents the balance of opposing forces, the harmonious interplay of duality. The arms, one male and one female, further emphasize this duality within unity, the reconciliation of seemingly contradictory aspects of existence. How do these elements differ significantly from the vague descriptions of Baphomet in the Templar trials? The answer is simple. The Baphomet of the Templars was an accusation, a boogeyman. This was not just a head, this was an entire system of thought put into one single image. To fully grasp the significance of Levi's creation, let us examine specific examples of his writings and illustrations from Dogmi et Riddle de la Haute Magie. Within those pages, Levi unveils his vision of Baphomet, a visual representation of the divine balance he perceived in the cosmos. The illustration itself is rich with symbolism, each element carefully chosen to convey a specific meaning. The goat head is not merely a demonic symbol, but a representation of the primal life force that animates all things. The torch between the horns represents intelligence, the divine spark of consciousness. Furthermore, examples of Baphomet's image appearing in other occult texts and artwork, such as Aleister Crowley's Thoth Tarot, demonstrate how others adopted and adapted Levi's image, each adding their own unique interpretation to the symbol. In Crowley's Thoth Tarot, Baphomet is associated with the card, the devil, but not in a purely negative sense. Crowley saw Baphomet as a symbol of liberation, a representation of the overcoming of limitations and the embracing of one's true potential. These interpretations often focus on the balance between good and evil, male and female, and the conscious and subconscious mind, all reconciled within the Baphomet figure. Therefore, Baphomet represents the reconciliation of opposites, not necessarily an endorsement of evil. But what philosophical and spiritual ideas truly influenced Levi's creation of the Baphomet symbol? To answer this, we must delve into the depths of Gnosticism, Hermeticism, and Kabbalah, the esoteric traditions that shaped his worldview. Gnosticism, with its emphasis on divine knowledge and the rejection of material reality, provided Levi with a framework for understanding the limitations of conventional belief systems and the importance of seeking deeper truths. Hermeticism, with its belief in universal laws and the interconnectedness of all things, inspired Levi to create a symbol that reflected the harmony and balance of the cosmos. Kabbalah, with its mystical interpretation of the Hebrew Bible, offered Levi a complex system of symbolism and numerology that he incorporated into his Baphomet image. As envisioned by Levi, the Baphomet symbol was intended to represent spiritual enlightenment through the reconciliation of opposites. He saw Baphomet as a representation of cosmic balance and spiritual androgyny, a symbol of the unity of all things. In this context, Baphomet came to represent a synthesis of different religious and philosophical traditions, becoming a symbol of universalism, a key to understanding all religious concepts. Thus, the modern Baphomet symbol, as created by Levi, is a distinct entity from the vague accusations against the Templars. It evolved to be something entirely different than the accusations thrown around in the trials. From synthesis to revolution, the image of Baphomet changes once again, a testament to the transformative power of symbols. There is still so much more to uncover. However, it is important to note that some historians and occultists still connect Baphomet's origins indirectly to the Templars, despite the lack of clear evidence. This connection lives on in legends and whispers, fueled by the romantic image of the Templars as rebellious figures who possessed secret knowledge, defying the authority of the Church. Even if the accusations against the Templars were baseless, the myth of their secret knowledge and defiance has proven to be incredibly influential. Furthermore, different occult groups and traditions have their own unique interpretations of Baphomet, adding further complexity to the symbol's meaning. No one group agrees completely on Baphomet's meaning. Some believe it represents base desires, while others view it as an ideal balance. Despite these counterarguments, Baphomet transformed in the 1800s with Levi. It evolved to be its own image and meaning. Baphomet transformed in the 1800s with Levi, but this isn't the end of the story. Baphomet is a reminder that symbols take on lives of their own. In the end, Baphomet's story is a testament to the power of symbols to transcend their original context, reflect new values, and inspire diverse interpretations. It has become the very symbol of power through understanding. But how did the image of Baphomet become so tied to counterculture and outright Satanism? Now that we understand the modern image's origins with Eliphaz Levi, it's time to explore how Baphomet became a symbol of rebellion, adopted by countercultural movements challenging established norms. How did a symbol born from occult synthesis become the emblem of those who dared to defy the status quo? Baphomet's journey from demonized deity to counterculture icon is a story of rebellion against religious and societal norms, a testament to the power of symbols to transform and take on new meanings. As society began to question traditional authority, the Baphomet image began to represent freedom from oppression. But what historical forces allowed this transformation to take hold? To understand this shift, we must briefly outline the historical context of the late 19th and 20th centuries. This era witnessed the rise of secularism and skepticism towards traditional religion, with many questioning the long-held dogmas and moral codes. Simultaneously, various countercultural movements emerged, including modern Satanism and an occult revival, each seeking to challenge established norms, question authority, and explore alternative spiritual paths. Society was rapidly changing, And so was the perception of Baphomet, as symbols of rebellion and transgression gained popularity in the cultural zeitgeist. With traditional values being questioned, controversy began to be seen as a good thing, a sign of progress and free thought. But how did Baphomet specifically fit into this changing world? This leads us to the core concept: Baphomet's association with rebellion, transgression, and the rejection of traditional authority. As established religions lost some influence, Baphomet became a symbol for all who questioned the status quo, all who sought to break free from what they saw as oppressive systems of thought. Within these countercultural movements, specific interpretations of Baphomet began to emerge. For Satanists, Baphomet became a symbol of defiance against Christian dogma and the celebration of individual will, a rejection of what they perceived as the restrictive and life-denying aspects of traditional Christianity. For occultists, Baphomet represented spiritual enlightenment through the exploration of forbidden knowledge, a challenge to the boundaries of conventional understanding. Artists and writers, drawn to the transgressive nature of the symbol, saw Baphomet as an emblem of creative freedom and the challenging of societal norms. Baphomet began to stand in stark contrast to the traditional Christian view of it as a demonic figure. But what specific examples showcase this new role? Consider Anton LaVey's Church of Satan, where the Baphomet sigil served as a central symbol of their philosophy and rituals. The sigil, featuring a goat's head within an inverted pentagram, became synonymous with LaVeyan Satanism, representing the celebration of earthly desires and the rejection of spiritual asceticism. Baphomet's image also found its way into occult art and literature, illustrating themes of transgression and rebellion against societal norms. Beyond LaVeyan Satanism, theistic Satanists also integrated Baphomet into their rituals, viewing the deity as a powerful force to be reckoned with and a symbol of carnal freedom. Some saw Baphomet as a symbol of carnality, a celebration of the physical body and its desires, while others interpreted the figure as a representation of freedom from repression, a call to embrace one's true self without fear of judgment. Still others saw the image as a symbol of balance, the reconciliation of opposing forces within the individual. How could a single image embody such diverse interpretations and meanings? This brings us to analyzing why Baphomet became such a potent symbol of rebellion and transgression. First, its association with forbidden knowledge and spiritual liberation made it attractive to those seeking alternative paths to enlightenment. Second, its androgynous form challenged traditional gender norms, resonating with those who sought to break free from societal expectations around masculinity and femininity. Third, its visual representation, often depicting a hybrid creature with both human and animal features, embodied the rejection of conventional beauty standards. Baphomet's adoption by countercultural movements can be interpreted as a reflection of broader societal trends, such as the questioning of authority and the search for alternative spiritual paths. Baphomet began to symbolize more than just an image, but an ideal of understanding, encompassing forbidden knowledge and the rejection of limiting beliefs. How has this image challenged societal norms, and what impact has it had on popular culture? Thus, Baphomet transitioned from a 19th century occult symbol to a powerful icon of rebellion and transgression in the 20th century. By embodying androgyny and the rejection of dogma, Baphomet evolved to represent freedom of thought and expression, appealing to those who sought to challenge societal norms and explore alternative paths. And its relevance continues to this day, as Baphomet's image can be found in modern art, music, and even political activism. What impact has this symbol had on popular culture, and why does it continue to resonate with so many people? Its influence continues to grow, sparking both fascination and controversy. But what about the counterarguments that still view Baphomet as something inherently evil? It is crucial to acknowledge the counterargument that Baphomet is still viewed by some as an inherently evil or demonic figure, regardless of its interpretations within counterculture. For many, particularly those with traditional religious beliefs, the image of Baphomet remains a symbol of Satan, the embodiment of evil and the enemy of God. Furthermore, the transgressive nature of Baphomet can offend some, particularly those who hold traditional religious beliefs. It is crucial to acknowledge these sensitivities and approach the topic with respect and understanding. While many countercultural groups do not worship Baphomet as a deity, but rather use its image as a symbol of their values and beliefs, this distinction may not be clear to everyone. The image is not always literal, but some fail to see the symbolic interpretation. So how can we reconcile these conflicting views? Ultimately, Baphomet's meaning and significance are complex and multifaceted, shaped by historical circumstances, cultural forces, and individual interpretations. Despite the counterarguments, Baphomet has evolved into a symbol of rebellion, transgression, and freedom of thought for many. The diverse interpretations of Baphomet across different movements and traditions demonstrate the power of symbols to take on new meanings and adapt to changing social and cultural contexts. Baphomet's story is a testament to the power of symbols to evolve, adapt, and reflect the changing values and beliefs of society. In the end, Baphomet represents the power of human understanding, the ability to challenge assumptions and embrace diverse perspectives. But is this all there is to Baphomet? Or is there a dark side to Baphomet that some are choosing to ignore? Having traced Baphomet's evolution to the counterculture, it is time to explore how Baphomet is found in the modern day and how its image has been co-opted into mainstream culture. The symbol's journey continues as it appears in art, media, and even political activism, reflecting diverse and evolving interpretations. The image is now widely available and understood outside of occult circles, a testament to its enduring power. But how did this obscure symbol find its way into everyday life? To understand Baphomet's mainstream explosion, we must briefly explain the historical context of the late 20th and early 21st centuries. This era witnessed the increasing acceptance of alternative spirituality and occult themes in popular culture, a shift fueled by a growing disillusionment with traditional institutions and a thirst for individual expression. The rise of the internet and social media provided platforms for sharing and disseminating information about Baphomet and related topics, connecting disparate communities and accelerating the symbol's spread. The growing visibility of satanic and occult organizations in the public sphere further contributed to Baphomet's visibility, challenging long-held taboos and sparking both fascination and controversy. Baphomet is now everywhere. You just need to know what to look for, and understanding the societal shifts that allowed this to happen is key to unlocking its enduring appeal. This leads us to the core concept, Baphomet's many faces. No longer confined to occult grimoires or whispered rumors, Baphomet is portrayed and interpreted in diverse ways in modern culture. In art and entertainment, Baphomet's image appears in movies, music videos, video games, and other forms of media, often as a symbol of rebellion, transgression, or hidden knowledge. The Satanic Temple, a prominent religious organization, has used Baphomet as a symbol of religious freedom and social justice, erecting statues and staging protests to challenge religious displays on public land. Fashion and design have also embraced Baphomet, with clothing, accessories, and artwork inspired by the symbol appearing in various styles and aesthetics. Baphomet also appears as social commentary, a symbol of questioning authority and challenging societal norms, used in online memes, artwork, and counterculture movements. Now Baphomet is more than just an occult symbol, but a brand to some, its image readily available for anyone seeking to express their individuality or challenge the status quo. Consider the Baphomet statues erected by the Satanic Temple as protests against religious displays on public land. These provocative displays sparked intense debate and challenged the boundaries of religious freedom, drawing attention to Baphomet as a symbol of religious pluralism and the separation of church and state. Baphomet's image has also appeared in popular music and music videos, such as those by artists like Lil Nas X and Ghost, who used the symbol to explore themes of rebellion, sexuality, and spirituality. Baphomet-inspired fashion and merchandise are sold by various brands and retailers, catering to a growing market of individuals seeking to express their individuality and challenge conventional norms. BAPHOMET is also used in online memes and social media posts as a symbol of irony, satire, or rebellion, often in humorous or subversive contexts. BAPHOMET is used in many subtle and overt ways. It all depends on how informed you are, demonstrating the multifaceted and evolving nature of this enigmatic symbol. This brings us to analyzing why BAPHOMET continues to resonate with modern audiences. Its association with freedom of expression and challenging societal norms makes it attractive to those who seek to break free from what they see as oppressive systems of thought. Its androgynous and multifaceted form resonates with those who seek inclusivity and diversity, challenging traditional gender roles and embracing a wider range of identities. Its visual representation, often depicting a hybrid creature with both human and animal features, embodies the rejection of conventional beauty standards, celebrating the unconventional and challenging societal expectations. BAPHOMET's presence in modern culture can be interpreted as a reflection of broader societal trends, such as the increasing secularization of society, the growing awareness of social and political injustices, and the desire for greater individual autonomy and self-expression. BAPHOMET has been used to challenge traditional ideas, offering a framework for questioning and deconstructing long-held beliefs. Thus, BAPHOMET has transitioned from a historical symbol of rebellion to a multifaceted icon in modern popular culture, a symbol readily available and reinterpreted to fit a variety of contexts and ideologies. The image has gone through many changes and now seems to have settled as a symbol of rebellion, a representation of freedom of thought and expression in a world increasingly skeptical of traditional authority. But is there more to it than that? Or is the image more sinister than we thought? Its widespread presence raises important questions about the power of symbols and their potential for both positive and negative influence. The story is far from over, and BAPHOMET's meaning and significance will continue to evolve as society changes. However, it's important to acknowledge the counterargument that BAPHOMET's image can be easily misinterpreted or misappropriated. The image could be twisted by those who seek to push harmful or dangerous ideologies. There is a legitimate concern that the use of BAPHOMET can be seen as promoting harmful or dangerous ideologies, particularly among those unfamiliar with its historical and symbolic context. Some may misunderstand the image and turn it into something negative, associating it with evil, violence, or other harmful concepts. It is important to approach BAPHOMET's image with critical thinking and awareness of its diverse interpretations and potential implications to ensure that it is used responsibly and ethically. The symbol has had a long history and should not be taken lightly, no matter how it's used, as its meaning is not always clear-cut or easily controlled. Despite these counterarguments, BAPHOMET's meaning and significance are complex and multifaceted, shaped by a variety of factors. Symbols will always change and evolve. The diverse interpretations of BAPHOMET across different cultural contexts, from its origins in occultism to its presence in modern art and political activism, support this argument, demonstrating its adaptability and enduring relevance. It all depends on the culture and the intent. BAPHOMET can represent a wide range of ideas and values, depending on the individual or group using it. BAPHOMET's story is a testament to the power of symbols to evolve, adapt, and reflect the changing values and beliefs of society. The symbols can change, but their meanings are everlasting. BAPHOMET's enduring legacy is a reminder of the importance of critical thinking, the challenging of assumptions, and the embracing of diverse perspectives. Always question everything. But what are the deeper implications of embracing a symbol so steeped in mystery and controversy? And what hidden truths might BAPHOMET reveal about ourselves and the world around us? As we reach the end of our exploration into the shadowy history of BAPHOMET, it is time to reflect on the symbol's journey through time and its profound impact on culture and thought. We've navigated through secret accusations, occult philosophies, and modern-day controversies, all to uncover the truth behind this enigmatic deity. Let's take a final look into Baphomet. In conclusion, after this long journey, it becomes clear that Baphomet's image has undergone a series of dramatic transformations. From its obscure beginnings as an ill-defined charge leveled against the Knights Templar, to its complex synthesis of occult ideas by figures like Eliphaz Levi, and finally its potent representation of counterculture revolt and mainstream symbolism, Baphomet's story is one of constant evolution. Understanding this evolution is key to grasping its ever-changing meaning. Its meaning is not fixed or monolithic, but rather complex and multifaceted, shaped by the historical context, cultural forces, and individual interpretations that have defined its existence. The Baphomet we know today is not the Baphomet of the medieval era, showing the fluidity of symbols throughout time. Baphomet's journey goes beyond a single symbol to a broader scope, connecting with themes that resonate throughout history. What does Baphomet's journey tell us about the nature of symbols and their influence on human thought and behavior? The answer is multifaceted, a mirror reflecting the anxieties, aspirations, and rebellions of each era it has traversed. Baphomet's story highlights the dangers of religious persecution and the suppression of knowledge, reminding us that accusing and demonizing those who are different is not a new phenomenon. Furthermore, Baphomet's history also reveals the manipulation of symbols for political gain, and how easily an image can be twisted and distorted to serve particular agendas. Just as symbols have been used to control people, Baphomet is now used to liberate people. However, the debate surrounding Baphomet's meaning and significance continues to this day and will likely continue for centuries. The ongoing controversy surrounding its use in modern culture, from its adoption by the Satanic Temple to its appearance in popular entertainment, demonstrates that the image remains a potent and provocative force. With a nuanced perspective, it is clear that Baphomet's story is a reminder that symbols can be interpreted in many different ways, and that it is important to approach them with critical thinking and respect for diverse perspectives. Baphomet ultimately defies simple categorization, resisting any attempt to confine it to a single, fixed definition. Ultimately, it is up to each of us to decide what Baphomet means to us and how we choose to engage with its image and symbolism. Understanding comes from within, and Baphomet is a Rorschach test of sorts. If you're ready to explore more stories like this, uncover hidden truths, and dive deeper into the world of the arcane, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and activate the notification bell to be alerted when we upload new content. By subscribing, you're not just following a channel. You're joining a community of like-minded individuals interested in exploring hidden knowledge and challenging conventional narratives. In our next video, we'll be delving into the mysteries of the Philosopher's Stone, so stay tuned. If you're looking for content that challenges conventional thinking and explores the mysteries of the universe, this is the channel for you. Thanks for watching, and remember, if the symbols allow,